In today's video, I'm going to give you a few basketball plays that you can run to be able to beat a half-court press. Now, what a half-court press is just essentially a regular zone defense that is basically pushed essentially up to the half-court line so that they can press you earlier so that they can get turnovers to get easy layups. Now, these are some of the strategies that I like to run against a half-court press. So let's get down to this and, of course, check it out. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense down in the description below if you're looking for an easy offense to be able to incorporate with your team. Okay, so let's just say this team is running a 3-2 zone as a half-court press. Now, this is very common. Most of the teams that I go up against will be running something similar to this. What I really want to see is players 4 and 5 go down to the corners. And now, what I want to see is player 1, when he's dribbling up the court, to call a 4-out play for one of these other 4 players. So, for example, let's say player 2 is a really good passer. What we're going to do is have player 2 go right to the 3-point line. Player 1 is going to then dribble out towards that side, and he's going to get that ball to player 2. When this happens, this is going to be either drawing up player 5, and if it does, this needs to be a quick pass to player 5 blue, who's going to be cutting towards the rim. And if it is, then of course it's going to be an easy basket. What I also want to see is player 1 cutting towards the basket as well, because now this could be another option for player 2 to pass to if, for example, we have player 3 collapsing on that player in the middle, so that now player 1 gets that ball. This will then drag player 5 into the post. They can kick it out for a 3. There's a lot of different options, or you can of course set up into your actual offense, 5-out, 4-out, 3-out, whatever it may be. If, for example, they're running something like a 1-3-1 style press, now this may be a bit harder to beat. I'm not going to lie, what they want you to do is to dribble towards these sidelines, and players 1 and 3 will try to trap player 1 in the corner. Player 5 will move over, player 2 will move over. They're going to be covering these areas here. Now, what I would really like to do against a 1-3-1 is something that is totally different once again. What I want to see is player 1 call for a screen early, and then player 1 use that screen. Player 1 is going to use that screen, and player 2 is going to roll off. Now, as soon as he rolls off, this needs to be either a quick pass to player 2 if he's open. If this brings player 3 in, we want player 5 to be coming towards the ball, and we want that pass to go into player 5. Player 5 then has the option to set up the offense, or he can hit player 2, who is continuously rolling towards the basket, who may be open for a shot or could kick it out again to player 4 for a 3, or again, you can set up your offense. Now, what gets teams in trouble is one of two things when it comes to a press. And that is, when it comes to a press, they either try to dribble through it, which doesn't generally work, because what will happen is if they dribble through it, they get trapped, they push towards the sidelines, and then it's just a massive blow because now it's a turnover and they go back the other way. Another thing that teams generally do is to pass really far down to the corners. And if that is to happen and that ball actually makes it there without player 5 red intercepting and getting that turnover, is teams will then just have players 5 and 3 trap in that corner. They'll move everyone else back, and at that point, this could be another turnover. So again, not the greatest decision. You really want to have fast passes, but no too far long passes. Now you can call the 4 play once again, but you have to make sure that player 2 gets in front of player 5. Player 1 will then move over towards this side and get that pass in. Now, if player 2 holds it for just a second, if they tend to collapse on it, that's when he wants to kick it out, and you can set up your offense. If they're not collapsing in on it, and let's say they fall back into their actual, let's say 1-3-1, then in this case, then we can kick it out, we can set up into our 5-out or 4-out or whatever offense you're running, and then you can continue your offense through. So, of course, while these are plays that you can run with your team, that you can actually run in the regular half-court sets as well, what you're going to find is as long as you're passing the ball fast, you're not taking too many dribbles to get up the court, and you can get the ball up the middle instead of going towards the sideline or towards the corners, you're generally going to be just fine. Now, what happens with players is they get rushed, they get stressed, and they make turnovers. That is something that we do not want to have happen. So there's one drill that we can run that we can actually teach both sides, the defensive side, but also the offensive side as well. So the drill being this, where we will have the first player in the middle line be offense, the outside lines will be defense. We can have a coach at half court or somewhere around that point area right there, where now we can have players 2 and 4 blue try to trap and push player 2 towards the sidelines. We really want player 2 to try to dribble up the middle, so we want him to always try to reverse and go back up the middle. Once he gets outside of the 3-point line, we want him to then pass to the coach and then cut as fast as he can towards the basket while players 4 and 2 are still playing defense. Coach is going to pass back while he's in stride for that layup. Now we're teaching our players how to deal with multiple defenders, but also teaching our defense how to trap, and of course learning how to pass under pressure to half court, to me as the coach, and then being able to then continue that play and cut to the basket so that you could possibly have a pass and a layup. We never really want to stand still after we make a pass. We always want to do something. And of course, cutting to the rim is one of the best options. I hope that this has helped. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense, but also my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book as well down in the description below. And I'll see you guys again next time.